Hey, thank you for taking your precious time to watch my YouTube videos. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that you can never miss any of my future uploads. It's Namuke guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Obviously it's in the morning, the chickens keep crowing. The cock keeps crowing whenever I'm trying to start my intro. But how y'all been? Like, how have you all been? It's been a minute since I've last done one of these videos, and obviously I'm here now. And yes, the secret to breaking bad habits. So obviously I don't have to disclaim, you're going to hear a lot of noises because it's in the morning, there's people in the kitchen, and there's that chicken that won't stop crowing. But the secret to breaking bad habits. Before we continue, please make sure if you don't watch my show, because I assume that some of you watch these kinds of videos and some of you just watch the show, but I don't make these types of videos often nowadays. But yeah, if you want to, chat, contribute to the show, please make sure to tune in every Sunday 5 p.m. and just join our Discord server so that you can be notified whenever I post a new show, or so that you can make suggestions or just join my community. And yes, the secrets to breaking bad habits. Now, I recently read this book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. If you want to download it, it's on my Discord server. Just make sure to go on the book sections, the 254 Millennial Talk server. The link is on my linktree/254 Millennial Talk. You should find it on my Discord server. And so what's the secret? After reading this book, I realized that it's not really that hard to make, just to, stop some habits, or just form good habits, okay? So first of all, you need to understand how a habit is formed in your brain. And according to this book, and I'll just pull up a diagram right now, as you can see, a habit is formed by, first of all, there is a cue to your brain. So this is something like an idea that hits your brain. And then there's the craving. Now this is when your brain decides to amp up hey, I want to do this, hey, that, like the cue is the initial idea. Hey, you've seen like the YouTube logo, right? And now the craving becomes, I want to watch YouTube videos, okay? And now there's the response. Do you actually go out there and watch the YouTube video, right? And now there is the reward. Now, if you choose to click and watch the YouTube videos, your brain feels rewarded. And this is how habits are formed to your brain. It's basically that cycle, okay? Now, if you understand this cycle, then you can use it to hack, or you can use it to trick your brain into loving those things that are difficult but are actually good for you. And there was this video I was watching of how dopamine, like how porn addiction works, and they were doing like a testing on a rat, like how dopamine might affect a rat brain. And at the end of the day, we're not really that different. And what they did is they put like a button, and then they put like some electrodes in the brain of the rat, and whenever this rat touched this button, a release of dopamine would be triggered in the rat's brain, and the rat seemed to like this, so the rat kept doing it, right? And then what they did is they laid the floor with like electrical panels, I think, which electrocuted the rat. But despite the rat being electrocuted, the rat kept pressing the buttons so that it can feel good. Now this is profound because it should tell you how your brain works. So long as it feels good about doing something, it will force you to do it continuously. Hence porn addiction, hence drug addiction, hence social media addiction, which is actually the most problematic thing we have today in society, right? So there's the cue, you feel the buzzing, like you feel, or you see your phone, right? And then there's the craving, you feel like you want to see who is that, like who has just done something, like you want to see what the notification is. And then there's the response, seeing whether someone liked your video, seeing someone whether liked your photo, seeing whether someone did whatever. And now the reward is you feel good. Maybe you get a like, you feel good. Maybe you saw what message that was popping up, and you satisfied your curiosity. And to you, your brain, when you do, as you keep on doing this, you don't know that you're conditioning your brain to do this consistently, and thus forming a habit. Now once you've understood this is how you can like trick your brain into doing some difficult things, or just trick your brain into doing things that you might find hard. Now this book actually says that a good way or a good practice is to make bad habits harder to practice and good habits easier. So let me use like an example in my case, right? So for me, I started running and working out in the morning like 2 months ago, right? And I've been doing it every weekday, right? So what was my cue? For me, my cue was putting my shoes out there, and whenever like I woke up and I did all my studies and all these things, I could see my shoes out there, and I could feel the urge of running. And you see, so over time my brain associates, because after you run and take a cold shower, you actually feel, or sorry, after you run and work out, you actually feel good after taking a cold shower. And you see, my brain kinda likes that. And nowadays, if I don't work out, if I don't run in the morning, I usually feel like I'm missing something, right? And also another thing to have made it like making me working out easier is my dogs. You know, it's obviously good practice to run and exercise your dogs, and you bond with your dogs. And for me, I'm not and I don't want to say how I don't want this to seem like one of those me flexing how I feel good, but it's an amazing feeling to see the dogs running beside you and trusting you to lead them, right? For me, that's a good feeling. And at the end of the day, when I come back home and lock them in, they're tired and they just wanna rest. So you see, I've spent time in the morning to bond with my dogs, run, at the same time keeping fit, right? So, and it all started with me like forming that cue, like how to hack like this thing of working out into a habit. And so this book really helped me a lot in like doing some difficult things that seemed impossible, even studying for 2 hours and all these things, so things like avoiding social media, right? So what I do is just hide my phone. I just place my phone somewhere up there where I can't physically see it, so I don't trigger those cues in my brain to actually keep on touching my phone. Another thing that I actually did to like break to kind of break, because I'm still getting there, I'm still not there, I'm still addicted to YouTube. There's this app, and allow me to just switch to my desktop right now. So hey guys, so I'm on my PC right now, and the app that I was talking about in the video is this one called Cold Turkey. Now what Cold Turkey is, it's a website and app blocker. Very effective. Of course, you can always find ways to counter it, but it's quite effective, and trust me, by the time you find out to counter it, it will have frustrated you to a point it's not even worth it to seek after that bad habit. Now remember, the point is making the bad habit as difficult as possible so that you can do it less and less and just adopt good habits more and more. So for me, why do I have such an app? And I have to say, this app is not free, unfortunately. You have to buy it, but if you view it as a cost, that's on you. For me, I just learn not to view things that help me boost productivity and just streamline my work. That may be people, that may be software, that may be tools. Investing in such stuff also helps, because like it helps you just become more productive. So I don't view them as I don't even view them as investments. I just view them as ways to boost my productivity. So unfortunately, this app is not free. I don't know, there's like an extension which I'm not sure if it can work without the app, but that's how it manages to block websites on your browsers. But for me, because I'm obviously an IT guy and I've obviously found ways to bypass it, I have to block the browsers that, especially Microsoft Edge, is very stubborn. It doesn't like being controlled by other apps, so I had to block it. As you can even see, it is an anti-edge, so even if I try to open it, nothing will happen. It might open for a few seconds there, and maybe you can try and surf and all that stuff, but let's just try. You see, that is what will happen, right? It may have not maybe detected it at first, but the minute it detects the app is open, it's just going to shut it down
immediately. So it's quite effective. Now the only browser that I have on right now is called Firefox, which if you decide to disable it, trust me, if you decide to disable it on the browser, it will keep closing the browser until you enable it. So you see, just try to go to YouTube and it's saying you've quit this site called Turkey and all this stuff. So you can pause for a course and pay for like a charity or something, that is if you're urgent. Now I have to warn you against using this app if you know you need your browser, if you know maybe you use YouTube to research and all that stuff. In that case, you just have to use your own self-control and all that stuff. But there's actually good extensions you can use on YouTube to minimize watching recommended videos. So apparently, though, I don't know, I have this one called Unhook YouTube, right? And I think it's also on Microsoft Edge, right? So what this extension does, you can just look for YouTube, like block YouTube recommendations or something. Let me just search block YouTube recommendations. There's these add-ons, right? And I kid you not, the minute you open YouTube with those add-ons, YouTube only comes as a blank page with the search option where you can search for the video you need to watch without you jumping into a rabbit hole. And even if you watch a video, it's not going to show you recommendations. So if you find that you get easily distracted when you're watching YouTube, it's very good for you to find one of those extensions. Just Google and let me see, is it this one being advertised here right now? Yes, this one, right? Yes, it's this one, right? So you see, it gives you all of these options to even hide chat, comments, all these things that that make you feel like it's a distraction, like to be on YouTube. And this is how your YouTube page will appear. They've even done a good job of showing you like how YouTube will appear. So these are the kinds of things that maybe can help you boost productivity. But this, of course, this is the software side. Also, for note taking, another app that I generally use is Sticky Notes. Now, the reason why I use Sticky Notes is because I can access Sticky Notes on my phone. Now, you may wonder, how do I access PC Sticky Notes on your phone? And obviously, this applies only to Windows users. If you use a MacBook, I think there's an alternative for even cold turkey on a MacBook, which is actually very good. But if you sign in using OneNote, using one account, if you sign in on your OneNote on your phone using the same account you use on PC, you should be able to see a section on your phone that contains your sticky notes from your PC, and anything you add here will sync. So these are the kinds of things, maybe before you sleep, put up a to-do list, right? So this is like my timetable, and the reason why I'm ticking is because even in the book, like the guy recommends that visually showing that you're making progress also stimulates your brain into continuing that habit. So for me, ticking shows me, right, I've gotten through all of this. I only have 3 boxes to check, right? So these are the kinds of hacks that I'm talking about. And it's also like a to-do list for the following day. There's like a sticky note on this other monitor. You see, it's here, right? So I have links and everything I need there. These are the kinds of small things that you implement in your day-to-day that will help you build a good habit. But I think you can find alternatives even for phone. The reason as to why I primarily use Cold Turkey is because it works effectively on your PC. And for the other app that I found, I don't know, Your Freedom requires you to pay monthly, which is something that, I'm not into that. I'm not into paying monthly. I just prefer to buy a software and, and I know you're thinking, can I pirate this? Yeah, go and pirate, but trust me, you'll not find the latest version. Like the one that is on the pirated websites doesn't even work. I tried it, and I just decided to pay, and this app is doing its job fine. So let's get back to the video.
So hopefully these examples that I've just pointed out will help you, like organizing or just breaking bad habits. So if you have a habit that you want to break, first of all, remember cue, craving, response. All right? And like, let's just say if you have a cue and a craving for a bad habit, if you actually don't do something about it, your brain tends to be like, okay, I'm cueing him, I'm cueing him or her, and I'm trying to make him crave it, but he's not doing anything. So your brain tends to associate that habit with like, okay, no matter what I do, I can't cue this guy into doing this, so I'm not feeling good at the end of the day. Eventually that bad habit tends to regress, right? So just make sure to read that book, Atomic Habits. It's a very, very good book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Be sure to find it on the Discord server, and I'm sure you can form some habits that can, help you. Remember, the trick or the secret is not to go against your own human nature, but to make it easier and convenient. So let's just say you want to have an organized day. Just pull up like a sticky note on your computer or on your phone that has a list of to-do lists. So, or maybe just do this every night before you sleep. And also another thing that like helped me from this book is also a change of environment. Okay, so I'm lucky enough, I'm in a place where I can run, and I'm sure some people don't have that access to that kind of a place. But also triggering, like things that trigger habits, is also a change of environment. So if you don't want to be constantly on your phone, like maybe when you're taking breakfast or when you're taking lunch, then put your phone away and find another sitting spot in the house, or maybe go outside and form a habit of eating your food outside, so that your brain can associate me going outside means it's time to eat. Me going to bed and placing my phone away is time for me to sleep. Okay, so hack your brain. I feel like all this motivational speakers, but that's a way to like trick your brain into liking things that it doesn't like. I'm trying to think of another bad habit. Really trying to think, but you get the point. Okay, sometimes also the change of environment really triggers. Also, I was about to forget this point. Also, the people, or like making like a bad habit easier. So let's just say like working out, finding like a working out partner really helps. Another thing that I've seen is this thing like studying as a group online. I've seen these Discord servers where people turn on their webcams and they mute themselves, and people like study, and it's kind of effective, because if you see your other friends studying, you also tend to study. If you see your other friends working, I think that is why people like are sometimes more productive when they work in the office. And when like people are more productive when they work in the offices, because you see your other friends working, so you are motivated to work. You see, in essence, you don't know that you're forming a good habit, which seems difficult, because you're getting cues from your friends. So if you stick around people who are obviously constantly on social media, you're obviously going to feel the urge to be on social media. So even the people, the environment in which you stay in triggers bad habits. So if you want to it just cues bad habits. So if you want to like form a habit of making good decisions, just make sure like you have a partner or a buddy, or just find something for you that works for you. For me, like I said, like when I run in the morning, it's my dogs that give me the motivation, because they're usually out here like 5 a.m. scratching my door, really eager to run. Okay, and they actually know that that's their running time. Okay, and something else, like for me, like I even said earlier in the video, just make sure to place your phone somewhere you can't even see it, or install an app like the app that I just talked about when I was on my desktop, Cold Turkey or something. It may seem like it's unnecessary, but trust me, these habits are eventually form who you are as a person. You may not know it, but you may not know that you're forming habits day to day as you do some things. But we remember people by their actions. Like someone used to be like this, maybe Kevo alikuwa anaongea hivi, maybe James used to run like this, maybe James used to talk like this a certain way. Does he talk quick? Does he talk fast? You see, some of these things are just habits that you practice that end up forming who you are. So if you want to be a better version of yourself, just make sure to make bad habits harder to do and good habits easier to do. Okay, and I'm not condemning anyone who's doing bad habits. We all have bad habits that we obviously need to work on. The main point of this video is to just maybe give you a different way of looking at this kind of a scenario. So hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of disorganized. Kind of felt confused when I was speaking some things, but you know, it's fine. I just felt the urge to make this video, and maybe it will help someone out there. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to, you know, sorry, I don't know what's that in my chest. Be sure to like, you know, share. You know, liking helps YouTube promote the video. Like on its algorithm. YouTube helps. I don't know. Likes help, not YouTube helps. Like help a video get recommended to people. And be sure to join the 254 Millennial Talk every Sunday 5 to 6 p.m. And yeah, join our Discord server. And oh, by the way, you know, I have a Skillshare link if you want to form a habit of studying stuff. Be sure to check the link in the description to get yourself a 1 month worth of free premium Skillshare membership. So yeah, without further ado, I don't think I have anything else to say other than I'll see you in the next one.